close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Alright everybody, so here we are, and as the title suggests of this video, actually first of all, so far I've been just busy watching the video, that is why I haven't been speaking. Right now it's time to speak, and the thing that we will be doing over here, that would be simple, using Prisma with Hono as well as Cloudflare. And of course we'll be following the documentation. We'll give all our best to at least get this particular thing done. So let's see whether we can actually achieve this thing or not. Now first of all, let me make sure that I'm able to see the live on YouTube, and let me enable chats as well. And the main focus of this live ultimately right now, that is going to be simply connecting to the database using Cloudflare first of all, and then using Hono. And both of them are going to be used over here. Of course the database documentation is going to be followed, but ultimately this is the goal that we have for now. Okay, so first of all, the first goal is simple, that is Prisma with Cloudflare workers. Simple, I wrote this thing. Of course, I will be redirected to a documentation. First of all, deploy to Cloudflare workers in Prisma. How do Prisma ORM works with Cloudflare workers? So these are the two things I'm getting. Let's click on this as well. Let's click on this as well. And Hono setup and use Prisma Postgres database, Cloudflare docs, and that is it. More than this we don't really need. So let's go with the first one, what I get over here. Deploy Cloudflare workers in pages. This page covers. Oh hi, good to see you. Would you mind telling me your name again? Sorry, just got out of mind. I just want to address you with the name. Your like cutie bot is written there. I know you told me your name once. Is that does that start with V or something? I have no idea. I'm sorry. Would you mind telling me that again? This page covers everything you need to know to deploy an app with the Prisma ORM to Cloudflare workers or Cloudflare pages. Okay, that's great. Questions. Okay. Questions answered in this page. How to deploy Prisma to Cloudflare workers? Which drivers work on workers and slash pages? How to configure database URL and environment variables? Okay, then if Prisma ORM's Rust engine binaries cause a large bundle size, slow builds and deployment issues, for example, in the serverless storage environments, you can use it without them using this configuration of your generator. So JS or Prisma client, and then engine type is going to be client. Akash, yeah, yaar. Sorry, your username confused me. I'm sorry, really sorry for that. But yeah, I'll keep in mind next time onwards. Prisma ORM without Rust binaries has been generally available since this. Note that you need to use a driver adapter in this case when using this architecture. No Rust engine binary is downloaded or shipped. The database connection pool is maintained by the native JS database driver you install. Okay. Prisma adapter JPG for PostgreSQL. This setup can simplify deployments in serverless storage runtimes. Learn more. This curious why we moved away from the Rust engine. Take a look at why we transitioned from Rust binary engines. Okay, this is just current one. How to create a referral system in Firebase? Well, I haven't explored that yet. I'm sorry. I'm just exploring Cloudflare right now, and mainly I wanted to use Prisma using Cloudflare. So of course I have to go to the documentation. They have mentioned everything, so I'll be doing everything over here. General considerations when deploying to Cloudflare. This section covers general things. Okay, using a Prisma, got it. You can use a Prisma Postgres and deploy. After you create your worker, run this. First of all, I have to create my worker. I already tried to do that, by the way. Let's do it from the beginning. Why not? CD few steps back, ls CD when I'm actually going with this. So remove ref Prisma. Okay, as that's deleted. So mkdir same name Prisma with Cloudflare ls cd Prisma with Cloudflare ls. I think I'm inside that. Let's delete everything from here, and after that there's something called app index.ts. Okay, ls remove ref everything, and the next thing that we have to do, and first of all we have to of course initialize that. So let's even go through this one. How to use Prisma ORM with Cloudflare workers. Prisma ORM, set up your project. First of all we have to set up the project. npm create Cloudflare at the latest Prisma Cloudflare worker, type hello world ts2. Okay, all these things. cd Prisma Cloudflare worker, npm install dependencies. We have to install dependencies. npx Prisma init db. Got it. What is the next thing? Compatibility flag node.js compact. Okay, define your Prisma schema. So runtime is gonna be Cloudflare over here. Well, this is different. Is this from Prisma 7 or something? Because I have one more docs over here from them only. So guides Cloudflare workers, and this one docs Prisma. Okay, this is again there are different links, different documentations. Both Cloudflare work and worked runtimes are supported. We did more configurations, runtime migrations and generate. Okay, integrations into that. It's not like everything is different, but things are different in this one, and I will be following. I'll try to follow both of them. That means I'll have to go through both of them. This one is quite advanced. They have actually added many things here, and the previous one was with don't know. I haven't even gone through that well. So let's see. So you can use Prisma, Postgres, and deploy to Cloudflare workers. That's great. npx Prisma. First of all this, but even before that I have to initialize this. So this is the tutorial setup, and use Prisma with Postgres database workers, and even they have mentioned everything. npx Cloudflare. Okay, Prisma at the default setup Prisma in your schema and gis. Okay. So ultimately same things are being repeated over like almost everywhere. So if I just go through one, yeah, that is right. If I just go through one, I will be able to just get the things done anywhere. So great, let's go with this tutorial of Prisma and get the stuff done using this, and then later we'll see what happens. Not with this one, just this one. So first of all, I have to create a Cloudflare. So Cloudflare docs for workers, and I wanna look at the getting started CLI. And over here, this is the one. npm create a Cloudflare at the rate latest. So npm create Cloudflare at the rate latest, and it's gonna be, the name is going to be just app, or let's make it in the current directory. It doesn't really matter. I think it should be fine. Checking if in which directory do you want error. It should be this. Okay, hello world example, great. And it should be just worker only, using TypeScript. The thing is that a project name must only contain lowercase characters and numbers and dashes. Can't I do this? Let's try this thing one more time. I wanna make it in the current directory. Yeah, that is right. So let's name it app, so that it doesn't throw any error. And workers only, TypeScript. It will just install the dependencies and all. Then this is how we'll simply be going ahead. And until let it just get the things done from its own side, and meanwhile we will simply be going through the documentation. So this thing is done, then we have to get it. We have to install this. Even before installing it, I will have to install Prisma and all. That is okay. And enter the name of your project, choose a database region, connect to your CLI, to your Prisma data form account. If you are not logged in or you don't have an account, your browser will open a guide through creating a new account or signing into your existing one. Create a Prisma directory containing a schema.prisma file for your database models. Creates a .env file with your database URL for Prisma Postgres. It should have something similar to Accelerate. That is okay. This time I will rather be using the Accelerate pool of. I will getting the URL from the Prisma itself, and later I will be using NeonDB in the place of that. Let's see. You will need to install client. Okay, of course I will need to install. So Prisma/extension accelerator, and extend Prisma client with the extension in your application code. So in my application code, I actually have to extend it. So whenever I'm actually connecting to the database and doing some stuff, whenever I'm getting the client, at that time I'm simply extending with the accelerate. As simple as that. Let's try this thing out. I hope. Do you want to use Git for version control? Okay, no, and it is fine right now. So let's cd into app and ls. Right now I should be able to run npm run dev, and it should just work. Okay, let's see whether it's working or not. Are we able to see the result? Yes, I am able to see the result. Hello world. What is the next thing that I'm going to do? First of all, if I want, I can directly deploy it. So I have to just run npm run deploy, and this will be deployed to Cloudflare if I'm not wrong. let's check this thing out too. Am I actually able to deploy it or not on Cloudflare? Once it gets deployed, whether I get the link or not. That is quite obvious that I will definitely get the link. Let's get it done, and then we'll be having a look at it. This is the app that we have created, uploaded app in 8.29 seconds, and now I should be getting the link at the end, and this is the link that I have got, app.codingthecode.workers.dev, and let's click on it, open the link, and here I am getting my result. That means my application is deployed. I'm even getting the result. Okay, what is the next step? The next step is pretty simple. I have to just open this index.ts file, of course, and there's again something written, so let's go through that. Welcome to Cloudflare workers. This is your first worker. Run npm run dev in your terminal to start development, and or open browser at 8787 to see, that is the port, to see worker in action. Run npm run deploy to publish your worker. Bind resources to your worker in wrangler.json. I'll have to bind resources to your worker in wrangler.json. See, after adding bindings, type definitions for the env objects can be regenerated with npm run c, and this can be useful, but I'm not sure. So let it be here for a while, and we don't really have anything else right now. So what else am I supposed to do? Just follow the documentation, and that is it. Okay, let's continue, and then I have to generate DB, but the DB will automatically be generated, or I must say DB has already been generated. So I have to just say that Prisma init, that is it. Initialize Prisma. As for DB, I already have the database, so I don't need to worry about this. And as for the database, so if I go there and search Prisma over here, so I have already the database was created just a while ago, so I'm gonna be using that, and create database. So this is the database that I will be using, Prisma with Cloudflare, and the thing is that it automatically gives us the functionality of using Prisma Accelerate. That is the thing, not Prisma Accelerate or connection pooling. Can I enable both? Well, at a time I can enable only one. So let's go with the Prisma Accelerate. This is the one that I will be using, and let's see. Let's even have a look at this. Prisma Accelerate is a fully managed global connection pool and caching layer for your existing database, enabling query level cache policies directly from the Prisma ORM with a 15+. Okay, that's great, super speed. So ultimately got it. I think this is what I need right here. Let's close this one, and this one, not this one. Just close this model from here. Let's go to Studio, and nothing has been even migrated so far, if I'm not wrong. That is true. So what can we do right now? The pretty simple stuff. Let's click yes first of all, because we are initializing it. Okay, once it is initialized, after that we have to go through the documentation. Once it is initialized, we have to install this. I think we have already done that. Then we'll be extending this, and once this is extended, we will be just reading through it and learning more. So this much is done, and after that I already got this environment variables declared in this file are not automatically loaded by Prisma. Please add import.env config to your Prisma config.ts. So it must be mentioned over there as well, as it is mentioned here. That is great. But the thing is that I have to generate the client for no engine and all. Never mind, I'll take care of that. So let's go through this first of all. Or use the Prisma CLI with a bun to load environment variables from .env files. Okay, they are directly available. Prisma supports the native connections string format for Postgres, SQL, MySQL, SQLite, and MongoDB, ApproachDB. See the documentation for all connection string options. The following Prisma plus Postgres URL is similar to the URL produced by running a local Prisma Postgres server with the Prisma dev CLI command. When not choosing any non-default post codes or settings, the API key, unlike the one found in the remote Prisma Postgres URL, does not contain any sensitive information. Okay, what is the next step that we have to actually do over here? The next step is simple. I have already copied it, so I have the URL, so instead of keeping it this one here, just replace with the new one, like the real one. And once that is replaced, then we'll simply be going ahead. And what is the next thing? So this much we have done. I think I have installed this particular accelerate function, accelerator package as well, if I'm not wrong. But let me give it a try again, so that if I haven't, it's going to be installed. Okay, add extension, that is done. Then set up helper scripts to perform migrations and generate Prisma, as shown in this section. Where is this shown? Just below that, right? Yeah. You need to have the .cli package installed, as Cloudflare worker does not support .env files. Okay, you can do this by running the following command to install package locally in your project, and that is npm install as dev dependency and .cli. Let's do even this one. Let's install that. What is the next step? Using an edge compatible driver. When deploying a Cloudflare worker that uses Prisma ORM, you need to use an edge compatible driver. What is this? Edge compatible driver. If I just deploying edge functions with Prisma, so I had better just open it another tab. Okay, this is the thing that's being discussed over there. Let's go through it. Okay, you can deploy an application that uses Prisma ORM to the edge depending on which edge function provider and which database you use. There are different considerations and things to be aware of. Which database drivers work on edge? How do driver adapters affect connections? When to use Prisma, Postgres or Accelerate? Prisma, Postgres or Accelerate. Here's a brief overview of all the edge function providers that are currently supported by Prisma. First one is Versal Edge function, and preview only compatible drivers. Versal Edge middleware, Cloudflare, and then Dino. Well, not yet. Okay. Deploying edge functions that use Prisma ORM on Cloudflare Versal is currently in preview. If Prisma ORM Rust, okay, this is the thing. Edge compatibility of database drivers. Why are there limitations around database driver edge drivers in edge functions? Edge functions typically don't use the standard Node.js runtime. That is right. Edge functions typically don't use the standard Node.js runtime. For example, Versal edge functions and Cloudflare workers are running code in V8 isolates. Deno deploy is using the Deno JavaScript runtime. Deno deploy is using Deno JavaScript runtime. As consequences, these edge functions only have access to a small subset of the standard Node.js APIs and also have constrained computing resources, CPU memory. In particular, the constraint of not being able to freely open TCP connections makes it difficult to talk to a traditional database from an edge function. While Cloudflare has introduced a connect API that enables limited TCP connections, this still only enables database access using specific database drivers that are compatible with API. We recommend using Prisma Postgres. It is fully supported on edge runtimes and does not Prisma Postgres. It is fully supported on edge runtimes and does not require a specialized edge compatible driver. For other databases, Prisma Accelerate extends edge compatibility so you can connect to any database from any edge function provider. Ultimately, we will have to either create an edge function provider or we use Prisma Postgres. Right now what I'm doing, I'm using Prisma Postgres. Let's even click on this and let's go through this one. And this is all about Prisma Postgres, and this is about another thing, Prisma Accelerate. So I think both of them are almost the same. If I actually just click on it, so I will be getting started from here on. And then let's talk about Prisma Accelerate. Prisma Accelerate is a fully managed global connection pool. Prisma Accelerate is a fully managed global connection pool and caching layer for your existing database, enabling query. Okay, so we can use Prisma Accelerate or we can directly use Prisma Postgres. So Prisma Accelerate, if I just simply click on it, what will happen? Make your database global. Accelerate is a fully managed global connection pool and caching layer for your existing database, enabling query level cache policies and flexible invalidation options directly from the Prisma ORM. Test Accelerate speed, try Accelerate now. And for that thing I'll have to create an account. I'm already here, and then from here I can actually try it. By the way, I can try it that if I click on new project, I'm getting three options. Prisma Postgres, either I can use this. It does not require a fully managed Postgres database with a Accelerate built in, featuring connection pooling and global caching. That means here I don't need Accelerate, and Accelerate powered performance and caching, fully managed Postgres database. That means I can go with this one. Or if I'm using other databases like NeonDB or any other database, maybe Avian, there is something called Avian DB, if I'm not wrong, something like that. Yeah, so this is also one of them. Or I can use this one. And if I'm using these databases, I will actually have to use Accelerate over there, that has been mentioned. Okay, boost your application performance with scalable connection pooler and global database caching. Reduce query latency by up to, okay, whatever, this is the, and optimize and all. So ultimately these are the two ways that Prisma actually provide. That's great. And now I can just simply even close this one. Let's go with this. Okay, so Prisma Accelerate is a fully managed global connection pool and caching layer for your existing database, enabling query level caching policies directly from the Prisma ORM. With 15 plus global regions, the connection pool scales your app for a global audience, particularly for serverless deployments that risk connection timeouts during peak times. Accelerates global cache hosted in 300 plus locations ensures a fast experience for users regardless of your database connection. You can configure your query level caching strategies directly in your code with Prisma ORM, making setup and tuning easy. Together, the connection pool and caching allow you to scale effortlessly and handle traffic spikes without infrastructure concerns. Get started in examples and then test paid. And then we can just get started. If I just click on get started, I will be coming here, and I think I'm on the same page here. Get started with the Prisma Accelerate. This is just get started, and then prerequisites, and then this is how I'll simply be going ahead. By the way, I have understood, so I don't need to get started with this because most of the things are just getting repeated. So let's leave them behind and go with the main documentation that we had. This is the get started section for again just Prisma ORM. So again I will be quitting it over here, and we have learned about this as well. And ultimately, if we are using Prisma Postgres, we don't need any edge function, edge compatible drivers. Otherwise, if we are using Neon server, Planet Scale, serverless or node, well, there are many. If we are using any one of them, then we'll have to use Prisma Postgres. Is used to access Postgres database, SQL database built on bare metal using unlike unikernels. Okay, unikernels. It is supported on both Cloudflare. Okay, that's great. But it will just keep going on like this. Overall idea, we got that. And now we can just simply go ahead, as we are using Postgres. So it is saying that when deploying a Cloudflare workload that uses Prisma ORM, you need to use an edge compatible driver and its respective driver adapter for the Prisma. So edge compatible driver and its respective driver adapter for Prisma ORM. This compatible this. There's also work being done on Node.js MySQL driver, which will enable access to traditional MySQL databases from Cloudflare workers and pages in the okay. If your application uses Postgres, we recommend using Postgres SQL. If your application uses Postgres SQL, we recommend using Prisma Postgres. It is fully supported on edge runtimes and does not require a specialized edge compatible driver. For other databases, Prisma Accelerate extends edge compatibility, so you can connect it to any database from any edge function provider. So it doesn't matter who is the provider, you can actually extend it. You can actually extend its edge compatibility, and yeah, it's up to you. By the way, I'm using Prisma Postgres over here, so we are not gonna be doing that. The next time I'm gonna be working with Hono, I will be actually using maybe Neon or Avin, and over there we'll be getting that done too. Setting your database connection URL as an environment variable First, ensure that data source block in your Prisma schema is configured correctly. Database connection URLs are configured in prisma.config.ts, that is great. That is provider, this might also be MySQL or another value depending on your database, that's great. Then Prisma config ts, I have import.config, then define config env and this, and then this. So let's see how what we exactly have over there. Prisma config.ts, I'm here, and first here is this, that Prisma did not find Prisma, so I will be installing Prisma. So npm install, and that will be Prisma, maybe as a dev dependency or something. I think Prisma is installed as a dev dependency if I'm not wrong, so that is why I'm installing that. And then after that I can remove it from here because I have installed the .env CLI for that. And let's see exactly what I got from there, and I will be commenting this particular section to see the difference between them. So from the documentation I got this, and over here I'm getting, okay, I can just comment this particular thing out too. So ultimately what I'm getting, that schema is equal to Prisma schema, great, data source is equal to URL, and that is env data source URL, almost things are same. Migrations, Prisma migrations, well, should be fine. By the way, I will be using the code that, or the configurations that I got from there. Just migration was extra, and I hope that will be set by default. Migration is going to be set by default, but let's see how it's gonna be going on. So this particular section is done. I wanna check if there is no migration thing over here, what exactly happens, because usually as the migration was there, why did I even remove that? As the migration was there, migration path Prisma migrations, don't know what it does, but okay, this is the only thing that is extra over here, and it is mainly used for migration and all, but we'll have to figure it out. And let's continue. Deployment, when using your worker in development, you can configure your database connection via .dev vars file locally. Okay, let's click on this and learn more about it. What is this? Local development with secrets. Don't use vars to store sensitive information in your worker's Wrangler configuration file. Use secret instead. Put secrets for use in local development in either .dev vars file or .env file in the same directory as Wrangler configuration. So it doesn't matter, either I can use .dev .vars or .env. Choose to either .dev .vars or either, but not both. If you define .vars file, then values in the .env files will not be included and in the env object during local development. These should be formatted using .env syntax, so that is right. Do not commit secrets to Git, that is right. Okay, I will not commit. Secrets on deployment workers, adding secrets to your project via Wrangler. Secrets can be added through secret Wrangler secret put or Wrangler version secret put commands. So Wrangler secret put and the key. Wrangler secret put creates a new version of the worker and deploys it immediately. If using gradual deployments, instead use the Wrangler version secret put command. This will only create a new version of the worker that can then be deploying using Wrangler version deploy. So npx Wrangler version secret put via dashboard. To add a secret via dashboard, in the Cloudflare dashboard, go to workers and pages, and then in overview select worker settings, variables and secrets, and add. Select the secret type, secret input a variable name and input value. This will be made available to your worker, but the value will be hidden in Wrangler in dashboard. Optional to add more secrets, select add variable. Select deploy to implement your changes. Well, that's great. Delete secrets from your project via Wrangler. We have these commands: npx Wrangler secret delete, npx Wrangler version secret delete. We can delete via version, or we can delete it via this as well. Compare secrets and environment variables. We can over here what we are doing: overview, settings, variable, edit. Select cross next to your secret you want to delete. That is great. Compare secrets and environment variables. Use secrets for sensitive information. Do not use a plain text environment variables to store sensitive information. Use secrets or okay, got it. Overall idea, it's not like you have to just keep diving deeper. It's like once you got the overall idea, that's fine. Okay, so either you use .dev.where file and you use your dev URL, or you use .env. Both of them are gonna be okay. In the above snippet, your database connection string is a placeholder that you need to replace with the value of your own connection string. We can use this one too, and note that .dev.where file is not compatible with the .env files which are typically used by Prisma ORM. This means that you need to make sure that Prisma ORM gets access to the environment variables when needed. When running a Prisma CLI command like Prisma migrate dev, these are several options for achieving this. Run your Prisma CLI commands using .env, .env, this, .wheres, npx Prisma migrate dev. And what I think that as I have used this note that .dev.where files is not compatible with .env, which are typically used by Prisma ORM. This means that these files are not compatible with .env files which are typically used with ORM. That means if I am using .dev.wheres, only then I have to do it. Create a script package.json that reads this via .env. You can then execute Prisma commands as follows: npm run env, the env npx Prisma migrate. Here's reference. Okay. Duplicate the database URL and any other relevant env wheres into duplicate the database URL, any other relevant env wheres into a new file called .env, which can then be used by Prisma ORM. If you are using an approach that requires .env, you need to have a .env CLI package installed. You can do this by using this command to install. Great job. Production. When deploying your worker to production, you will need to set the database connection using the Wrangler CLI, and that is npx Wrangler secret put and database URL that I have to put. That is right. Database URL. I think it will be able to. The command is interactive and will ask you to enter the value for the database URL env where as the next step in the terminal. This command requires you to be authenticated and will ask you to log in your Cloudflare account in case you are not. Great. Size limits on free accounts. Cloudflare has a size limit of 3 MB for workers on free plan. If your application bundle with Prisma ORM exceeds that size, we recommend upgrading to a paid worker plan or using Prisma Accelerate to deploy your application. Cloudflare has a size limit of 3 MB for workers on the free plan. If your application bundle with Prisma ORM exceeds that size 3 MB, that's it. We recommend upgrading to a paid worker plan using Prisma Accelerate to deploy your application. Okay. Deploying a Next.js app to a Cloudflare with pages. @Cloudflare Next on pages. Cloudflare offers an option to run Next.js apps on Cloudflare with pages with Cloudflare Next on pages. To see, okay, based on some testing, we found the following. You can deploy using a Planet, Scale, or Neon serverless driver. Traditional PostgreSQL deployments using PG don't work because PG itself currently does not work with the Cloudflare Next page. Okay. Feel free to reach out. Set databases. Okay, set Prisma client force some when running locally with a node. Database specific considerations. Prerequisites. As a prerequisite for the following section, you need to have a Cloudflare worker running locally and the Prisma CLI installed. If you don't have that yet, you can run these commands. npm create Cloudflare latest Prisma Cloudflare worker example, and then this cd Prisma, npm install save dev, npm install Prisma client, npx init output generated. Okay. We'll use the default user model for the example below. Post this SQL, and then they are getting the remaining things done. Let's continue. We already have these many things. Few things that we need to do over here. First of all, npx create Cloudflare latest, that is done. Prisma Cloudflare worker example, this is just the name. Prisma Cloudflare, this is the type that it needs, so that it doesn't give us pop-up to enter the things, and this is just the name. CD Prisma Cloudflare worker example CD Prisma. So ultimately hello world will be the type, and this is just the name of the file. npm install Prisma and save def. Okay, npm install Prisma at the client. I think this is something that I have to install. I am not sure whether this is installed or not. Okay, so let's even give this thing a try. If it is installed, that's okay. If it is not installed, it will be installed, so that's not a big problem. I think I did install it at the top. Yeah, it was installed actually. Never mind. The next thing is that npx Prisma init. Okay, the output should be in the generated Prisma. This is the path for the output, and I think when I actually generated if I look at this, so this is the generated folder that has been mentioned over here. Source generated Prisma, that is okay, not a big problem. This can easily be achieved. Over here we are saving it in the generated then Prisma. That's again fine. Depends. I'm just gonna be using this Prisma npx Prisma in, so that it simply initializes that, and npx Prisma init. It initializes Prisma, and the output should go in this particular section. That is okay. That is, I have already initialized that, and the output is source right now. What is the next? You will further need a database instance of your database provider of choice available. Refer to the respective documentation of the provider for the setting of the instance. We'll use the default user model. This is the default user model that we have. So I'll just simply copy and paste this particular thing. For this particular thing, you have to go to your schema and just paste it over here. As simple as that. Just paste it. So this is the default user model that's being used. What is the next step? Of course, we'll have to go through the documentation. Postgres, once you have done it once, next time it becomes easy, that you know exactly what you have to do, or you can just sprint through the documentation and get it done. Initially it takes time. Postgres traditional, if you are using a traditional Postgres database that's accessed via TCP and the PG driver, you need to use the Prisma adapter PG database adapter and set a node compare true and in wrangler.toml. Configure Prisma schema database connection. If you don't have a project to deploy, follow the instructions. Okay, first ensure that the database connection is configured properly. Database connection URLs are configured in this. So first of all, this and this. Okay, this thing is almost done. Then Prisma config is also done. Next, you need to set the database URL in the environment file. Here they are using .env, .dev, .wheres. We can use environment variable as well, .env. That would work. Both of them are supported. Then npm run env and npx Prisma. Okay, that's good. Npm installer that PG adapter. Install PG adapter. That's going to be needed over here. That is insane. So ultimately, when I'm actually generating that, it needs connection string env.database URL, and once it got the env, then the Prisma client is generated, and once the Prisma client is generated, I'm actually getting the database from the URL, getting the content from the database. Come on. Once this thing is done, npx wrangler dev, and then npx wrangler secret root, I'm putting the database over there and deploy. Then I'm deploying it. Most of the things are done in the application. The only thing that may be remaining, because over here what I'm doing, if I actually go to index.ts file, I'm actually using nothing. So let's copy the code from the top that was given there. There are two options. Either we can use PG adapter, that is the most famous way that's being used nowadays, or I can use this code given by given at the top. Let me see what is the difference between them and all. So let's cut it from here, or rather just comment it and paste the code that I got from the documentation. What is happening over here? First of all, of course, I need the client that hasn't been generated yet, so I will have to generate the client, and then we are getting the env And once we got the env, we are directly creating the Prisma client by giving it data source URL, and data source URL is a env.database URL, and this is the thing. The thing is that I'm going with this method because I'm using Prisma accelerate, and when I'm using that, so of course I had better not use probably that PG adapter can also be used. I'll have a look at that, but this should be enough for now. And then I'm getting the users. Once I'm getting the users, I am getting the result. I'm actually stringifying them, and then I'm sending in the result. As simple as that. What is the next step that we have to do? Most of the things that are done, and the next thing is that once the client is generated, let's generate npx Prisma, and that's gonna be migrate dev, if I'm not wrong. This should be enough. This is how we migrate dev. This is how we migrate using Prisma, but whether it works or not here is still a question. Luckily the database we had, that has been recognized, so that means it should be able to push the data. Let's see, wait and see what happens. As for the documentation, I have gone through that. So it is saying that it supports both. It supports .env file as well. It supports .dev.wars. But for .dev.wars, you will have to do some more configuration. .env file directly works, but even for .env file, you will have to install env-cli. This is the package that you will have to install from the node package manager npm. But let's see. I hope it's gonna work. As my database is online, it is bound to take some time to just simply migrate the things and all. So let's wait for a while. And once this thing is done, well, great stuff here. Init schema. This is going to be the name, and this time it is going to be migrated to the database that I'm using. Having said that, I would remind that I'm using accelerate. I'm using pooling right now. Why am I using pooling? So that the connection gets cached, so that it doesn't have to make lots of connection to the database, because database provides 1 or 2 connections. You cannot have many, and that is why that needs to be cached. By the way, right now, where am I supposed to go? I'm supposed to go to the NeonDB, but I'm not there yet. So let's go here, reload the page. And if I look at the tables, let it download. Here user table has been migrated. I'm getting everything over here. I can just add some data from my on site. So suppose I want to insert some data, because I do not have any method, any route to add the data, so I'm adding data from this side as well. So email is gonna be vipendra@gmail.com, and name is just going to, let's enter, and the name is going to be just Vipendra. And as for the ID, let's keep the ID 1. That is going to be an integer. I think that is set by default. Yeah, that auto increments. So this thing is done. We have actually created this, and once we have created this, I'm not sure whether just dark mode. Is there any dark mode thing? Well, no. Never mind. Let's leave it. Once this thing is done, once we have migrated the data, then I will be generating the client. And for generating the client, npx Prisma generate. This is the command for generating the client. Let's see what happens. Well, the client has also been generated. There's only one thing that I'm getting this thing. Okay, the path is not right, so it should be, what is the right path? Dot generated / client. Good evening, Nitin. How are you? Dot generated / Prisma / client. This is the right path. Once I got that, again I'm getting the object literal may only specify known properties, and data source URL does not exist in type subset Prisma options. Okay, so what is the solution to this? Okay, it's saying that object literal may only specify known properties, and data source URL does not exist in type subset Prisma client options. let's go through it. Search online. I hope I'll get a solution. Object literal means by unknown properties. Okay, let's go through it. Actually, this is, oh, come on, yeah, I should go one step backward. I hope Prisma is, yeah, Prisma is being used here. So anything. Is there anything from Prisma side? Don't really think so. Okay, had better directly give it to the AI. Let's see what it gives me back. What is the solution? The error means you are passing a data URL property into this, but the version of Prisma client you are using does not include data source URL in Prisma client options. So TypeScript rejects it. Why this happens? Data source URL as a container option was added in Prisma. This later, if your client options it does not know about this property, how to fix this? Data source URL. Upgrade Prisma to a version that supports npm install Prisma @client latest regenerate npx client, and then data source URL. This requires greater than this. If you can't upgrade, you have to remove. It's asking me to upgrade. I'm already using Prisma 7. In the morning I have joined class when the class is finished. In the morning you had to join the class when the class got over. Did you mean this? In Prisma, top level or data source URL option was removed in favor of other configuration mechanisms. So Prisma client no longer has that property, and TypeScript throws the error. Okay, so what can we do? Why schema most common? This is the thing, PostgreSQL. So I'm going to use PG adapter this time. I think it will not throw the error if I actually use the PG adapter. What is this thing, by the way? Export Prisma 7 introduction a separate config file. You can set to set the connection URL, then instead of data source URL. So data source URL dv, the name of the Prisma config ts dv sourceage. What is the dv sourceage inside that? If I actually have a loop, config dv sourceage, data source. There is no db source, there is data source right now, and it gets the value from there. So let's do one thing. I think I should be able to use the PG adapter. So let's use that. Below they have mentioned that as well. So let's copy and paste the thing from there. Cloudflare worker. We have done this much. How about this? How does Prisma overlap with the Cloudflare workers? Okay, I think both of them are same at the end of the day. Okay, so const adapter is this, then I'm using this. Ultimately I'm getting Prisma. Let's try to use this method. I may have to enable one more thing. Let's go through this one too. uh, how to use Prisma working with Cloudflare workers. So this thing is okay. Then you have to install this much. Okay, Prisma install configure Prisma. I have installed everything. .env pg. If you use okay, you will have to answer okay. .env file already set enable Node.js compatibility. Maybe I have to enable this particular thing, and before even that, runtime this I may have to make that. I haven't made that yet. And after that, both Cloudflare and Workbird runtimes are supported. Great. And then this thing is okay, optional. npm run migrate, npm run generate, both of them have been done. I can actually use pg adapter over here, as that is not supported. Data source URL. And how about putting this value over here? Well, problematic. Object literal may only specify known properties, but data source URL does not exist in the Prisma config. Did you mean to write data source? So anyhow, I will have to write data source. So what is the option that I have? I have only one option, to use a PG adapter. That is the new thing. I'll have to install PG adapter, like this particular package. So let's install that too. npm install PG adapter, and yeah, this should be a dev dependency if I'm not wrong. Let's even check that thing out. That is not a dev dependency. Install it. Once this is installed, what is the next step to just follow? The next step is simply just go there and generate the client, as simple as that. So this is where the client is actually being generated. So I'm just gonna be getting this particular thing done. I'm just simply generating the client, and let's see what happens after that. So instead of going with this particular method that I've been going so far, mainly when I'm actually generating the client, and I can do rather this thing. This particular thing that is something that I'm doing. I'm getting Prisma PG from adapter, and Prisma client from where? Yo, good evening, Divya. How are you? How has the day been? Prisma, I think I already have it at the top, and I'm getting it from generated Prisma client. That is right. So I don't need to worry about that. And this time I will extend it, but the way is going to be a little different. So I'm extending the Prisma client. So let's extend the same way, but I'm using PG adapter. That is the new thing that Prisma added in the new update Prisma 7. I'm good. What about what does that mean? If I said so it was like I was tired or something. Sorry for that. And if I said I was glad to see you here, so that is why I said like Divya, something like that. Okay, you okay. Okay, sorry. What about that was you. I'm great, really great. Users Prisma find many. This thing is done. It should be fine. Now I'm not getting any error as such. Let's simply try to run it. So npm run dev. God knows what's gonna happen after this. And guess what? Got an error. What is the first error? Not first error. Many errors. Node.js compatibility. That means it does not support Node.js compatibility. Again, need to go through the documentation where they actually mention that this is how you can actually support Node.js compatibility. So here, if I want it to support Node.js compatibility, I will have to go to wrangler.json.c. Why are you crying? I'm happy to see you here. But a mosquito is going to be killed by me. Let's see. Wrangler JSON and come on, yeah, you can do it. Main compatibility flags flag will create main compatibility flag over here. Let's paste it here. Done. What is the next thing? ये बहुत अनएक्सपेक्टेड था, ये बहुत क्या बहुत अनएक्सपेक्टेड था आपका आना कि मेरा ऐसे बिहेव करना. Okay, you means that he likhti. Got that. I wasn't used to that particular slang. I'm not that much. I'm not that. Yeah, I can say I don't know much about slang, so sorry for that. Both. Okay, let's see. Once this got enabled, am I still going to get the error? npm run dev. Finger crossed. And congratulations, got the error again. What is the next step? One more thing that I need. Just let's follow everything. Like if I just add things from my side, I'm gonna be crazy stuff. So first of all, I have done this. After that, they are saying that add a runtime Cloudflare. I will be doing that. Just simply blindly follow the documentation. And if then something does not work, then use your own mind. Okay, so over here, the runtime is going to be this Cloudflare. And anything else? Nothing. Migrations, okay, that's all right. And things are okay. I think it should be fine. It should even work. But if it doesn't work, it's my bad luck. npm run dev. Service core user app uncaught type error path argument must be type string or an instance of URL received undefined. The worker's runtime failed to start. This is likely additional logging output above. Service core user app uncaught the path argument must be type string path argument. Where do I have that? Do I even have path? मैं तो बहुत ज़्यादा वर्डिंग करके देखते थे भैया. अरे पकना ही तो है. That is a good thing. Like वही तो करना है. Like जब बैठोगे तो दिमाग खराब होगा, दिन लगे रहोगे, दिन धीरे धीरे आने लगेगा. बिना पके तो होगा नहीं. तो आज तक खाना पकाया आप लोगों ने, आप खुद को पकाओ. Prisma config.ts path. Oh, missing path. I think this was the one. Could be. Let's copy it and or let's have a look at everything that they are actually providing from the top to bottom. And right now I'm getting in the habit of reading the documentation. At the end of the day you have to go through the documentation stuff. ये तो सही है, वो तो है. Path. This one, but it's coming from the request, right? Am I using that there? Yeah. Request env ctx env.database URL. I'm directly getting that, so should not be a problem. And I'm extending that. The path exactly doesn't play any role over here. Okay. Create a database adapter and initialize Prisma client. Database adapter. path. I am getting the path from here. If that's equals to this, then this. Tell me one thing, your history gets deleted automatically or you do it yourself? In Edge, now use Prisma client to create a new user and count the total number of users. Things seem to be fine. Satisfied exported handler env. Satisfied exported handler env. It's white color. Then a response. Okay. Test your worker locally. That is not working at all. Prisma accelerate with Cloudflare. Getting started with Prisma accelerate. Why am I having to face this much issue? Crazy stuff. I literally thought that it would work. Maybe I'm not good at even following the documentation. I was using this one. Okay. Deploy Cloudflare workers and pages. Then I did this. I even did this. And they were actually providing database URL. The fact is that it does not support database URL directly. Data source URL, I mean. Then the setup helper script to perform migrations and generate Prisma client as shown in this properties. I'm getting this thing done as well. This thing is, I don't even think that is required. Script is equal to .env. This is fine. As simple as that. Define. Next you need database URL. Scripts is equal to this. Fine. Node compact. That is true. So I'm not at least getting that error right now. So over here, Wrangler.json node compact this way. So in your node compact, set to it to true. Oh, I just forgot about this AI. It should help me. But even before that, it's time to take the help of AI. Not only normal AI, the AI of this Prisma website. First of all, let's give this code this much. Is this right? Okay, let's go through it. No, you shouldn't combine a driver adapter Prisma with the accelerated extension like this from the rust-free no engine docs. When you uh, when you use Prisma accelerator or Prisma Postgres, you must not use drivers and instead this directly with accelerate no rust. The recommended pattern for accelerate and Prisma Postgres is Prisma client accelerate URL. Oh, oh. No, 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 no. That means let's go few steps back. Let's roll back, roll back, roll back, roll back. Not that much, one step at a time. Okay, once this much is done, I had better use accelerate URL. Is it okay? Just one thing. I think it's gonna work fine. npm run dev. And congratulations, I got a new error. Okay, yeah, I thought that would work. That was the suggestion of the AI. And the accelerator getting started guide shows the same pattern pass accelerate URL and then call accelerator with the no adapter accelerator stand. Also, maintains specifically called out the trying access on accelerator Prisma adapter PG is correct. You should instead accelerate plus the acceleration execution issue. Okay. If .env URL is accelerate Prisma, remove Prisma or use accelerate. Okay. Above. The error the worker runtime failed start is likely additional logging output above. The error you are seeing the path argument received is the Cloudflare worker runtime failing to load node only Prisma client bundle. This matches the behavior reported using Prisma regular client generated in workers instead of as a compatible setup. From the Cloudflare worker guide, the correct pattern for PostgreSQL over PG in workers is connection string. This with no with accelerator here using Prisma accelerator and driver Prisma is generated with Prisma client provided output true and so instantiates in the client like do not use Prisma PG at all. Am I still using Prisma PG? That was something that was causing the problem. And guess what? I'm not. Help me, I need help. I hope it will be able to help me now. Is that code matches it? Is going to this one, but I'm getting the error using this one, that is for sure. The crazy thing is that I'm unable to upload a photo here. Never mind. What is this? Weird. Come on here. In Prisma 7, the Prisma client options are now mutually exclusive adapter for driver outputs like Prisma or accelerative URL for Prisma, and SSOCR is not part of union type anymore in the generative client Prisma. So you can see in the generative Prisma. Credit complaints. Okay, so from the accelerators. This code is ways to pass accelerate in Prisma URL by accelerate and then so accelerate, and then this is gonna be the better option. Okay, once if I actually want to do that, so this is gonna be the right way. So ultimately this is what I want to do. Maybe the whole thing from here to here, but even not sure if it's gonna work. Okay. So ultimately this whole thing, what is this thing? This is getting repeated again, so let's get rid of it. Accelerate. Even this is getting repeated if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so this much I have right now. NTX Prisma migrate. Easy stuff. This way I got stuck with Prisma once, and then I had to just figure out the way on my own. It took a lot of time, and then here I am again with Wrangler. Then I have to work with Hono as well. Don't know. I think once I'm done with this, so it will be okay with that as well. Let's see. Get it done soon. Do not really have lots of time. I have to start. Okay, done. Not found. That's great. NTX Prisma generate. The problem is that it is saying that no such file or directory open this wrangler.10.this. Huh? Really? Okay, let's stop. npm run dev npm wrangler deploy. You are running into known class of problems. Wrangler wide builder failing into awesome query compiler this or the file not being in the runtime. So from the linked issues docs to separate but related concern. The module suffix doesn't like ensuring the query compiler awesome. The awesome Wrangler is trying to open the path that literally this is the same symptom seen in Cloudflare driver of Wrangler fails on query engine awesome module even though the file is there. Wide workers users had to remove module from the generated import in the internal class to make it awesome. One uses workaround for workers get query compiler awesome module generated internal class.ts. They removed the module and it started working. So programmatically workaround and Prisma or Wrangler integration improves is Prisma generate patch generated internal query was replace it with a PG was then Wrangler dev unit. Because the docs and issue do not yet provide an official Wrangler solution to the path. I can't give you any guarantee configuration that will work on some patterns. No. npx Prisma generate no engine. Work. App.wrangler, where is .wrangler? Okay, then temp, then dev, then there was a command that was given to me in the beginning. I lost that, I think. I had to run that. When I actually generated it. Or I'll have to create another one, but I hope I'm gonna find it at the beginning. Okay, this is where it started. I deployed it. It was done. I think I need to rebuild another project and see the command. There was a command, I remember. And I think that would resolve the issue. But I haven't run that yet. So what is the next thing? cd ls okay, npm or npm create Cloudflare @latest. What is the command? Get started. npm create Cloudflare @latest and the name. Test. Hello world example. Worker only. TypeScript. The thing is that test will have a test file. Wow, crazy stuff inside that. Hope it will work. मुझे मेरा खुद का ही वीडियो देखना I'm looking for a video to watch on this particular topic. I'm getting my own videos. One more thing. NPM Prisma NPX Prisma init. Where did I get that? In the documentation. This is another one setup and used Prisma database 10 months ago. These things are not gonna work now at least. November using Prisma with the Cloudflare workers. Hono. October setup. Okay, from here. Not sure about this one. Okay, the thing is that most of the people, they are using dev.wars. This is the file they are converting actually. I'd better follow the same thing and then see what happens. So this time I'll be going with this way. Gonna take break for a while. First of all, I have to resolve this thing anyhow. Then two things are remaining. Python, that is okay. Not gonna go with the Python right now. I already have enough stuff to just handle here as well. Even if I learn Python, that's gonna be for no use. So yeah, it's gonna be like that. I will learn Python once these things are, I'm done with these things. It's not like I don't know anything about that. But taking time out for Python is gonna be crazy. 10 months ago it was. I'm gonna be catching up soon. There's one more option that I have, so I will be trying to implement